each had some big moments in their victory here on Thursday against Stephen F. Austin. And we are underway here in Dallas. Gators in orange, Texas Tech in white. And the Gators will the first possession. This place just about packed to capacity. Hudson kind of lost his footing there, and it squirted through his hands. Here's Keenan Evans. What a second half he played in the first round victory over SFA. 19 of his 23 points after halftime. Second leading scorer in the Big 12 this season. They go down low. This is Lawrence Odiase spinning and missed everything.
Good defense on the post right there, keeping Odiase outside the lane.
Kayvon Allen trying to find Kevarius Hayes rolling down the paint. And back-to-back turnovers committed by the Gators. There's Mike White, coached this Gators program to another trip to the Elite Eight. That magical run through the tournament last March, taking over for Billy Donovan, year 3 in Gainesville. And what a job he's done with his staff.
Totally agree, Spiro. He's been a fantastic coach. He's been good play and good cut and bucket by Jared Culver. We go back to Coach White. He's been Coach of the Year in 3 different conferences, the WAC, the USA, and the SEC.
Chris Chiozza. Can't do it much better than that. Little scoop high off glass to get Florida its first points.
And he does that to keep the opponent's defenses honest, because he's really a playmaker. Against St. Bonaventure, 11 assists, 0 turnovers.
Evans a little fake. That's a tough flat-footed 3, and he buries it.
How special was Keenan Evans in the second half for the Red Raiders in their last outing?
You wonder how Evans would fare playing on that sprained right big toe that has been a bother for him the second half of the season. This 1 day of rest. Chiozza setting the table for Hayes.
And he did that from the same spot he knocked down the jumper. This time he put it up for his big fella.
Hayes, a junior, another Florida kid. Averages just under 5 points per game. Doesn't score many points. Let's get him to within 1 here in the early going. Here's Smith out front to Evans. Chiozza. So quick with his hands defensively. Able to knock it out of bounds.
That's big time play. That's a little shot fake, and like you said, Spiro, flat-footed, been able to make that play. And there's Chiozza. He is a guy that's savvy, leads his team in steals, but he knows how to run a team.
Yeah, he's an excellent decision maker for the most part. And again, to keep you honest, he'll score, but his job is to get everybody else involved.
Shot clock already down to 4. Here comes Culver, right through the teeth of the defense. Rebound Smith, and the other freshman is there. These two have been such a dynamic freshman tandem. Transition 3 at the other end for Hudson. And some early fireworks here in Dallas.
Jalen Hudson lost the basketball in his first attempt, or lost his footing on that one. He rolls up and knocked that one down. Great elevation on his jump shot.
Here comes Culver walking a tightrope on the baseline. Gray, little step back. Beautifully done for a long 2. Gray, a senior out of Tampa Bay, Florida. Puts the Red Raiders back in front.
Nice backdoor.
Hayes to the cutting Hudson, able to collect and going high off the glass.
That's one of the problems that Texas Tech is going to find if they continue to overhelp. You know, they're a great swarming team, but if they overhelp, Florida's going to use that aggressiveness against them.
Boy, Smith able to shake the defender, but misses a wide open look. This is Kayvon Allen, a give to Chiozza, and reset with just under 4 minutes gone by. There's the senior leader. Out of Hayes on the box. And this will be a reach-in foul against Culver, as we'll get a timeout. Both teams throwing some uppercut punches in the early going. It is Gray, and then at the other end, Hudson.
Wings. Welcome back to Dallas. I'm Roz Gold on Wood A. In the early 2000s, Coach Chris Beard was an assistant for Coach Bob Knight at Texas Tech. And he told me he embraced one of his favorite sayings, which was mental is to physical as 4 is to 1. And 4 to 1 has become one of this year's Texas Tech team's mantras. It's on their clothes, it's in their locker room. Coach Beard told me we don't have McDonald's All-Americans, but we've had perseverance, and at the foundation of perseverance is mental toughness. He said they were picked to finish 7th in the Big 12, and here they are playing for a spot in the Sweet 16. That's 4 to 1.
All right, Rise, what a run it's been for Chris Beard. Of course, credits Bobby Knight, still such a massive influence on his coaching career. 10 years as an assistant, not only under Bobby, but later Bobby's son, Pat. And both of those gentlemen certainly rooting for Beard and these Red Raiders tonight. Beard, the co-coach of the year this season in the Big 12, alongside Bill Self. Here is Chioza, the 5th. Oh, magical finish.
He is the disruptor.
He knows how to play, Lynn. And then also on that play, knew the shot blocker and length was trailing him. Just did a nice little reverse, pause, hesitation, and finish with his left.
Zach Smith, big off the bench, is checked in for the Red Raiders. Great little shuffle, feet inside, and then Smith is turned back. Excellent interior defense by Hayes.
Just shooting the gap right there, utilizing his quickness, and then sees the defender bearing down on him.
There's Kevarius Hayes with a nice block shot. Well, he has great timing.
Shot clock at 7 here as the Red Raiders will inbound underneath with Evans. Just past the 15-minute mark, first half. Here's Smith, the freshman, backs down Hayes. Outside to Brandon Francis. Evans with 1 to shoot, and he puts it down from deep.
They don't make many threes, just 7 per game. And against Stephen F. Austin, it was just 4 of 16. You know, they would much rather get the ball inside that line.
Offensive foul at the other end. It's on Hudson.
Shot clock going down. Look at the top of your screen. 1 second left, and it gets buried, and then just stepping in the way. It's a terrific job by Brandon Francis.
I mean, Keenan Evans, he's been battling with that injured toe. Boy, he is finding a way in this tournament to make big plays and big shots.
Michael Caro and Kayvon Allen back onto the floor for the Gators. Carl, you recall, took a knee to the back of the head the other night. It was a question mark whether or not he'd play, but he is strapping it on for the Gators as Texas Tech turns it over. Well, always remember, if you have a refreshing Coke Zero Sugar, a big upset isn't that upsetting. So excited to have you with us here in Dallas. Spiro Ditas, Steve Smith, Len Elmore, Roz Gold on Wood A, rest of our TNT crew. With the winner advancing to Boston in the Sweet 16, that is Igor Kulichov, dialing it up from way deep.
Well, you can't give him any room. He's not shy about taking deep threes.
Guys, the Gators offense that really struggled for long stretches the other night. 6 of their first 8 here. They've hit 2 of 2 from deep.
And it's Kulichov during that period of struggle in the first game that really helped them get off.
Allen swallows up Evans and then finishes at the other end. How about that sequence from Kayvon Allen, the junior out of Little Rock, Arkansas, to give Florida a 4-point lead. Francis left it short. Rebound Okoro. Texas Tech 5 of 12 from the field. Kulichov.
He's not bashful, Land.
Well, the officials say that Texas Tech was out of bounds underneath Francis.
Let's watch it. The air ball by Kulichov, and let's watch Francis.
Oh, he didn't touch it.
No.
He didn't touch it.
Officials cannot go to the replay
angle.
monitor.
Yeah, but from their angle, it was hard to tell whether his foot actually touched the line.
Jared Cole wants to
Way to be
shake hands at the
sensitive,
table.
Land, to the referees. I like that.
Huh?
Way to be sensitive.
Hey, come on, man. They got a job, too. Hey, I'm with you. I make mistakes. I guess they can make them.
Gators will inbound with a fresh 30. 13-14 to play. Keith Stone is checked in.
Nice.
He's wide open here. Rises and puts it down. Too easy off the inbounds. And just like that, the Gators with a lead of a half dozen, 7 straight points.
Keith Stone, a 6'8" sophomore, coming in. Beautiful screen, using his size to score that one.
Naeem Stevenson. Red Raiders desperately needed a bucket. And the senior from right here in Dallas is there. Dante Bassett onto the floor. This is Okaro. A runner high off the window.
I'll tell you what, though, if Hamilton is going to step out in heads, he's got to keep the Florida Gators from turning the corner. You allow them to turn the corner, you get burned.
There's Davide Moretti, the Italian national. A little bit too much. Rebound Stone.
I mean, the Gators are shooting lights out. They're 9 for 12.
7 players have hit a bucket for the Gators. Incredible balance on their score sheet over the first 8 minutes. Here's Bassett, a freshman out of Oakland, California, down to Okaro with 10 to shoot. Okaro turns the corner. Body's tangled up underneath, and Culver out of the fray for Tech.
The difference is made Okaro turn the corner with his left. And not nearly as proficient, although he got the same kind of shot that he had prior to that and made it with his right.
Texas Tech fresh off their first tournament win in 13 years. Looking for some offense here. Culver off of the foot of a Florida defender. It will be Texas Tech basketball when we come back.
AQC, Stone wide open off the out-of-bounds play. Beautiful play and finish. And then the next one, Michael Core with a...
All right, Adam. The mayhem continues in this NCAA tournament. Of course, turned upside down last night with that loss by Virginia as we take a look at our tournament summary presented by Buick. The Villanova from Loyola, Chicago. Of course, gentlemen, moving on.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Villanova is a machine. And, you know, they obviously went out early last year, but I've covered them enough to know that they're probably the most efficient offense in this field.
Villanova, certainly among the few heavyweights seemingly that still has some high confidence with parity in this tournament in college basketball, as strong as it's ever been. Here comes Stevenson. Second drive and finish for the senior.
Stevenson does a nice job. He's straight line driver. He's crafty. Has a lot of head fakes and hesitation. And a nice job for the Red Raiders.
Chioza from way outside. And how about this Gators offense? 10 of their first 14. They are cooking.
And Chioza is the chef. We've seen him steal the ball, knock down shots, create for others. As we mentioned, 11 assists in the last game against St. Bonaventure and 0 turnovers.
Doing it against this awfully rugged Tech defense. Tommy Hamilton rumbling to the basket. And Mike White, irate, will take a timeout. Watch live games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. You can watch right now, ncaa.com/March Madness, or utilizing the app. Pretty pictures high above downtown Dallas. And Mike White, gentlemen, very, very upset during that last timeout huddle.
Yeah, Stevenson with the drive, not once, but now you have Hamilton with a drive unaccosted in the middle. And you can't get into the teeth of a guy's defense without him getting upset.
Let's go over to Rise.
Yes, guys, in that Florida timeout, Mike White was fired up, and he challenged his team on defense. He yelled at them, they're giving up too many layups. And then he asked his team, how bad do you want it? You're giving up 3 to 4 blockouts. He told them, box out and play defense.
That's a good call, because when you look at it, almost a turnover, and ends up being a turnover. Tommy Hamilton on that last play, Lynn illustrated. Big fella with a pump fake, and I'm not saying he doesn't have skills, but he was slowly, molely getting down to the lane, and nobody stepped up.
Right. I mean, the backside defense, no one came to the rescue. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the telecast, it's not the threes that Florida has to worry about with Texas Tech. They like to play inside the three-point line, and we've seen it there.
And the other thing about this Gators team, as good as they've been, the big wins that they've had, they're a very quiet team. As Chioza trying to go, Evans rather trying to go up top to Zach Smith, and the senior boy nearly put down what would have been a thrilling alley-oop dunk.
He caught that one behind the backboard, way up top, Lynn, and that's a great catch, first of all, but then also got fouled, sending himself to the line.
Yeah, a little bit lucky that Chioza put more pressure on Keenan Evans and made that pass more difficult. Otherwise, if that had been on the money, that would have been a flush and one.
So here's Zach Smith, the senior, and the Texas kid. Broke his foot in early January, missed 13 games. Played sparingly down the stretches and tried to get himself back to full strength.
I thought he was key against the Lumberjacks. Had some blocked shots, scored some points, and he was disruptive in the second half of that game.
Both Smith boys were tough. They combined for 19 points and 11 rebounds.
Kulichov has cooled off a bit. Chioza the rebound. Kulichov tries his luck again, and he sticks it.
For a guy who came into this tournament shooting like 4 or 6 for 30 from beyond the arc, he has really got some confidence going now.
And that play is Chioza putting the ball quickly right into his shooting pocket.
Gators with a 7-point lead. Here's O'Carl underneath. Very tight space trying to find Hayes. Hayes has possession. Boy, Culver just kind of diving on him. Official Bo Borowski quickly trying to separate the two. What effort from both of these teams. It will be a jump. And possession arrow favors the Red Raiders.
Boy, good clean effort by both teams. And you got to laud the officials for allowing them to play and go after it.
Look at that pass by Chioza. And he gets a chance to shoot it, and he has a fantastic follow-through. Kovachev.
He had so much time to do that. And again, moving the ball, catching Texas Tech in rotation. They have a bad habit sometimes of over-helping, and we'll see the result, the consequence, I should say.
Kulichov, the circuitous route to get to Gainesville, born in Russia. Freshman year at Arizona State, and 2 years at Rice. Here is Smith from downtown.
Well, he doesn't take a lot of them, but he's very efficient, shooting 42.4 from the three-point land.
Some very strong shooting numbers as suddenly Tech has found its offense. Chioza. This is Stone, elevating, no, rebound Culver.
Did everything right, but put that ball through the basket. Excellent setup by Chioza.
Here's Evans, second leading scorer in the Big 12. Tough floater, won't go, rebound Kulichov.
Steve, that was better defense in the middle. That was.
Kulichov with another three.
I mean, Lynn, he wasn't set. He's deep, but he's still going to take some threes. He's not shy.
Smitty, that's what you call the old heat check. As Evans is fouled in the transition.
Number 11, Chris Chioza, that'll be his first personal foul. 13th foul against Florida.
You can get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament at ncaa.com. 4-point lead for the Gators. 6th seed in the East. At-large bid out of the SEC. Third place regular season finish in that conference. Behind Auburn and Tennessee. Taking on this awfully tough Red Raiders unit. And the pride of Lubbock, Texas, from Texas Tech. We move under 8 minutes to play. Here's Stevenson. He's played a good half. This is a deep ball away, corner 2. Last touched underneath by Chioza. Texas Tech and Florida Packed house here in Dallas as we take a look at our Axe first half game summary with the 7:42 mark of this first half. Florida fresh off their first round win over St. Bonaventure, up 4 over Texas Tech.
And reason why their leader, Chris Chioza, has done a little bit of everything. This kid can obviously play a floor general, and just watch him. I mean, he's one of those kids that just knows how to play, getting these guys some easy looks, and obviously they're shooting some threes, but this game is because they've made shots.
Shot clock at 3, so Smith has to hoist it up, and he puts it down. How about the freshman?
In perfect rhythm, too.
Allen.
Red Raider fans up, exalting their team, trying to get them to play some defense, which they did.
Here comes Evans, fouled on the drive. The basket does not count. Contact against Kulichov. As we go back to that last sequence.
The inbounds play was just him being able to catch it and rise up. And you can see Various not understanding his shot clock was down. You got to come out and pressure, make him drive it.
Here's Stevenson. Has had a hot hand off the bench. Everything but the finish that time, and this will be a jump. Possession arrow favors the Gators as Hayes knocked to the deck.
Steve, I don't know if they want to make them drive it because they seem to be getting real close to the rim. They've been making the layups off the bounces. Again, that's the thing that drives the coach crazy, letting them get in there. Good hustle, though.
You're right in the half court, but on that play with 3 seconds left, when he catches it, Landis, too, I want to make him a driver on that play when the shot clock running down.
Davide Moretti will come in, get Evans a brief blow here. The Florida Gators playing as a lower seed in an NCAA tournament game for the first time since the 2012 regional final. A team that has had so much success in the tournament the last couple of years. But you see the drought here with their playmaker Chioza holding. 7 to shoot. Chioza, not even close. Out of bounds off of Hayes as Texas Tech starting to ratchet up its defense.
I think Chioza kind of settled that time. Pulled up a little bit too late with little time on the clock. And the consummate point guard play, when you get under 10, your point guard's got to come back, get it, and put it on the floor and create for others and then himself if necessary.
Here's Moretti, the freshman from Italy. Beautiful little spin, but couldn't put it down. Gators at this end have missed 4 straight shots. Here comes Chioza. Batted around, Hayes had it, couldn't squeeze it. And a call here against Hayes in Florida. Number 2 on Mike White's big man. Well, more than 37 million viewers have made the Alienist cable's newest phenomenon. Don't miss the Alienist, all new Mondays, 9 Eastern time, right here on TNT.
And now for Florida, number 12.
Mike White, the 41-year-old Florida head coach. SEC Coach of the Year last year. After that incredible run all the way to the Elite 8. Can he get the Gators to the Sweet 16 yet again? Here's Culver from deep. Got it! And Texas Tech back in front.
Listen to this crowd, and the defense is ramping up for the Raiders. On-ball pressure. Hansy, the Gators got to find a way to quiet this crowd with the bucket.
6 to shoot. Chioza can't put it down. 7 straight empty trips for Florida. Culver majestically skying through the air. 3-point Tech lead.
And it's the Texas Tech play inside the three-point line that's hurting Florida. Yes, they've made 4 beyond the arc, but too many layups.
Allen can't hit. Offensive rebound, Gorjak. Here comes Hudson. Backdoor Kulichov, and he puts it in. And finally, the Gators back on the board. First points in more than 5 minutes.
Back and forth. The freshmen, Smith and Culver, doing a nice job for the Red Raiders.
Francis, wide open. And a one-time Gator who began his career in Gainesville. This is a little chippy. Here comes Hudson. Contact, and he will shoot free throws.
Len, did you see Chioza try to block that shot? He bothered Francis on that layup.
Playing little big man. That's what Chioza's doing.
Look at Smith to Culver right under the rim. Oh, that is smooth by the freshman.
So here's Jalen Hudson, Florida's leading scorer, despite the fact that he only averaged about 26 minutes per game. Thrived in Mike White's system this year. First Gator to win the SEC Player of the Week 3 times in a season. Transfer from Virginia Tech. Averaged better than 15 points per game. We are tied at 29. Here's Smith. Culver. As Lenny mentioned earlier, Tech doesn't hit many threes, as it looks like Hudson may have lost the contact behind the play, and the officials will stop it with 3:43 to play, and this one all even in Dallas.
Jared Culver with the follow through the freshman. He's playing with a lot of confidence, and we're all tied up.
Well, two teams desperately trying to get to the Sweet 16, all tied. A reminder coming up, AT&T at the half. We'll get you caught up on all the latest tournament news, highlights, and updates. All coming up next on AT&T at the half. We throw it back over to Roz.
In that Texas Tech huddle, Coach Beard delivered a few words at a time. He said, stay confident, pause. Be aggressive, pause. Space, spacing is everything, pause. Spacing is our offense, pause. Execute.
That's programming, no question.
Chioza's three won't go, and then it's knocked into the corner, taken by Evans. Texas Tech, a team that has been to the Sweet 16 only 3 times in their history. Trying to get back for the first time since 2005.
See if those program words stick. Their patience is being shown right here.
Here's Culver, one of their talented freshmen, to his freshman mate Smith, who has tripped up to the deck. Florida did have a foul to give, so Tech will inbound underneath with 20 seconds on the timer. It's on Keith Stone, his first.
And good cut by Zaire Smith and Jared Culver driving it. A lot of guys don't move without the basketball. That young freshman Zaire Smith cutting down the lane hard.
Here comes Smith. Down the paint, turns him aside. The putback by Gray won't go, and the Gators dodge a bullet. And we move under 3 minutes left before halftime.
What a nice block.
Mike White sitting Chioza down for a moment. Gat, tough pass to take. Here's Hudson, turning the corner, right down Broadway. Florida back in front.
He went down Broadway, but he took a little turn on a side street to avoid the charge.
He's been good. Jalen Hudson's been fantastic for the Gators.
8 points for the kid out of Richmond, Virginia. Here's Gray, 10 to shoot. Evans got Allen to bite, and he puts it down. 8 points for the All-American from right here in Dallas. What a first half this has been. Here's Hudson. Coming back for more. Yeah! Just kind of ran out of real estate underneath as Florida now has missed 5 straight from deep.
And watch him avoid the charge by taking that side street. A nice job with the extension. And then Evans, man, with one dribble pull up. Looked like Steve Smith for a minute.
Mike Whitesmith able to buy about a minute with Chiozza on the bench, and now the senior back on the floor.
Yeah, you got to keep him on the floor, but you got to, like you said, find some time to give him a little bit of break. He needs this this fantastic playmaker scores to be able to run this offense for the Gators.
Where does Tech turn here? Culver from deep. Front rim and then up over the glass with a $1:21 to play. And this game all even at 31. There's Chris Beard, the 45-year-old head coach. What a wild couple of years it's been for him. Terrific one-year run at the University of Arkansas Little Rock. Got them into the dance, a tournament win back in 2015. Of course, went to UNLV, lasted there just 19 days before Texas Tech plucked in and stole him away from Vegas. And back in Lubbock, where he cut his teeth under Bobby Knight. Trying to get the Red Raiders to the Sweet 16. Hudson coughed it up, gets it back. 7 to shoot. Chiozza elevates. Can't hit. Tracked down by Smith.
Well, that's the idea, though. Your point guard has to break down the defense when the shot clock is under 10. That time he created for himself to no avail.
Florida hit 10 of their first 14 shots. They have missed 11 of their last 14. 10 to shoot. Here comes Stevenson, and he is bumped. It's on Allen. And this will be a 1-and-1 for Naeem Stevenson with 32.6 to play before halftime. That was your bracket busted. Take a time out to play Infinity's round by round bracket, where each correct pick nets a donation to Coaches versus Cancer.
You see the fouls building up for the Gators. They have 7 going into this half, only 2 for the Red Raiders, and a trip to the line for Stevenson.
Again for Florida, Igor Kulichov.
Igor Kulichov will check back in. Gorjak Gak, boy, tell you what, that kid gave Mike White a couple of good minutes here off the bench.
He did.
Very active around the basket.
3 rebounds, a block shot off the bench.
2 of them offensive rebounds as Stevenson hits the front end. So put Tech back in front. The Red Raiders down by as many as 7. As you see Stevenson's numbers off the bench. Chris Beard talked about Stevenson when we spoke to him this week. Got a chance to play with some of the injuries that they had. And right now playing the best basketball of his career in his biggest moment. 2-second difference, shot to game clock with the basketball in their senior leader's hands. Chiozza kicks out to Stone. Back to Chiozza. Stops. No, it's put back up and in. Igor Kulichov, as Chris Beard asking the officials for an explanation here. No time left on the clock. Looks like the officials will go to the replay monitor. You'll see Kulichov wearing number 4, backside, catches and well out of his hands. We'll see if they put some time left on the clock here. Looks like they will not, as both teams go to their respective locker rooms.
When you look at the Texas Tech
Florida Gators or the Texas Tech Red Raiders, 20 minutes away from punching their ticket to the Sweet 16. A look at the first half stats powered by Google Cloud. Some of the numbers. Florida came out, hit 10 of their first 14 shots. And this one has been evenly matched. You can visit ncaa.com/bracketiq for more. As we welcome you back courtside, it has been an exciting couple of days here in Dallas. Spiro Dita, Steve Smith, Len Elmore. We'll hear from Roz in just a couple of moments. We expected it to be tight, and that's exactly what it's been.
It has. I mean, Len, when you look at it, both these teams have defended. They made some shots. When you look at the score right now, just a one-point league. I think it's going to come down to either senior point guard Chris Chiozza or Keenan Evans. One of those guys have to take over.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the stats, the difference is very minute. It's going to come down to whoever gets the last run.
All right, which of these two teams will advance? Let's throw it over now to Roz as we get set for the second half. Roz?
I was standing outside that Texas Tech locker room. The players came out of halftime to loud music, clapping, talking, all hyped up. Then I spoke with Chris Beard, and he said his team needs to stay the course. As a team, they've been watching these NCAA games, and he knows that these are long games in the tournament. They need to stay with it. And then he said, we might go small in the second half. We've been getting hurt on ball screens. We're probably going to need to switch that. And then gave a shout out to his freshmen, Jarrett Culver, Zaire Smith. He said they've been playing big minutes for us all season long. They're not freshmen right now, and he has big expectations for them.
All right, Roz, they've had a distinct home advantage tonight. There's a strong contingent that has made the trip from Lubbock, a Texas Tech program that has only been as far as the Sweet 16 in the history of the tournament for them. Evans twisting and turning in a very small space. 10 points for the All-American and second leading scorer this season in the Big 12.
Well, how did he get himself free for that shot? A lot of agility.
I love the play coming out of halftime by Chris Beard. Ran him off a high post cut. Used his size against Chiozza and scored that one.
Here's Chiozza, who struggled with his shot in the first half, 3 of 9. Now to Kulichov. This will be an offensive foul. He pushed off.
Offensive penalty against number 4, Igor Kulichov. That'll be his second personal foul. First team foul against
Good lateral movement by Keenan Evans. Right there, you can see.
Little buffalo sauce with that wing, huh?
Gave it to him, didn't he?
Second personal against Kulichov, who's been so good for Mike White and the Gators. 5 ties, 8 lead changes. Gators have led by as many as 7. Here's Evans, able to shake the defender, and he is whacked. Now, guys, we talked about that toe injury that has really hampered him over the second half of the season. Only 1 day of rest, but physically he's looked terrific tonight.
Look who blocked that shot. Chiozza, smallest guy on the floor. They call it a foul, but boy, it looked clean to me.
Actually get the foul on Kevarius Hayes. That's his third. So now Hayes has to be careful. Evans talked about, just desperately, guys, trying to get himself ready. Tried everything. Put insoles in his sneakers, cushions. Actually slept in a hyperbaric chamber a couple of times just to do everything possible to extend his season and his career. The senior from right here, just outside Dallas.
And look, he can't stand flat. He keeps alternating his feet with his weight until he gets ready to shoot. That's pain.
And he was huge in their last outing. 10 for 10 at the free throw line. Made some big plays, and he's going to have to do it today. Both him and Chris Chiozza.
Chiozza couldn't finish. Nothing about this guy, Zaire Smith, tells you he's a freshman as he is fouled. And he's not the only freshman who's been doing it here in Dallas for Texas Tech. Smith and Jarrett Culver for Chris Beard.
You see Smith with the 3 and then Culver with the 3, but they do so much. Once again, Smith knocking it down, and then there's Zaire Smith and Jarrett Culver. To combine, they have 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. And they are fantastic both on the defensive end.
Smitty, you appreciate the Smiths.
I do.
Highest scoring freshman duo in the history of their program. Evans the kick out. This is Zach Smith off the bench. 10 to shoot. Zaire Smith got it.
I mean, the kid takes big shots and he knocks them down.
Hudson full head of steam. No foul as the Gators are there to clean it up.
Yeah, a lot of
Jalen
help.
Hudson Big bucket for the Gators.
A lot of help on that side. That's what left the weak side of that glass open, but just love the way the Smith guys are playing with each other.
And look at them again, teaming up. These freshmen for Tech, cold-blooded. Timeout Gators. The Red Raiders on an 8-2 run to begin the half. They have hit 3 of 3 since the intermission. And always remember, if you have a refreshing Coke, 0 sugar, a big upset isn't that upsetting. Red Raiders faithful are certainly happy at the moment. What a start to the second half for them. And once again, it has been these two freshmen, Zaire Smith and Jared Culver, making it happen for Chris Beard.
You said freshmen. They don't seem like it. They have played huge, and they play with a lot of poise. But not their coach, Lynn. He is fired up. No poise for Chris Beard.
Well, he's got to appreciate the execution. That's what's gotten that 8-2 run for Texas Tech. Florida's got to find a way to answer. And I don't expect that to be the last opportunity for them to make a run to get back.
See the 19 combined points between them. Hudson wide open.
Nice
and the
job.
Gators punch back.
Nice job, the penetration and the kick out.
Give Chris Beard a lot of credit. Tried to come out and show 2-3 zone. Then they fell into a man. Just the penetration broke down that defense.
Culver unable to turn the corner. Here comes Evans. Off balance, and he is sent back by Stone. Shot clock does not reset. This is Stevenson, 6 to shoot. Culver putting it on the deck. Off balance, no. Rebound Hudson.
Boy, the only thing I think, the reason why they didn't call goaltending was it may not have a chance to go in.
Hudson can't put it down, but Stone is there for Florida. And we are tied at 40.
And I think Keith Stone can be the difference maker. He has a big body.
Offensive foul and an illegal screen on Zach Smith.
Let's watch this block. Man, look at
Ball's definitely on the way down, but the judgment, right, it didn't have a chance to go in. But that one did.
And there's Keith Stone. I mean, I'm telling you, his size and skill set. And there's a foul at Zach Smith. Keith Stone can play the 5, but he has a skill set like a 2 or a 3. Could be the difference maker for the Gators.
Boy, how quickly this game has turned. Jalen Hudson, a chance at a 3-point play the old-fashioned way. 7 straight for the Gators.
And don't for a moment think that this is the last run by either of these teams, because they have been answering each other. You know, right cross, left hook. They're in it.
Jalen Hudson has just been quietly playing at a steady pace. 16 points for the Gators, 6 of 11. He's made some timely shots and big plays.
Hudson has scored 8 of Florida's last 10 points as a whistle is blown here on the perimeter. It's on Hudson. That will be his second. The Gators' leading scorer at better than 15 points per game, already eclipsing that number tonight. Just under 4 minutes gone by second half. How much more great basketball could we see here in Dallas? Long 2 from Justin Gray won't go, the senior.
That's the way Chioza pushed it up the floor. Try to explore an advantage, didn't have one, pulled it out, looking to execute.
Here's Chioza probing that defense. Has struggled with his shooting tonight. 3 of 10 out of Stone on the box. Stone stumbling backwards. What do they say here? And they will say a defensive foul, says official Tony Padilla. Tech fans wanted to travel. It's on Keenan Evans, his first. And Chris Beard is hot.
Step Complete Fertilizer.
Florida Gators on an 8-0 run. They have hit 4 of their last 5 shots to take a 3-point lead. Oh, who's going to make the most shots? Who has more points in the second half? If your bracket's already busted, just play the Capital One NCAA Tournament Run game at ncaa.com and in the March Madness Live app. Gentlemen, a hotly contested call before the timeout. The officials say a little kind of grabbing foul on Keenan Evans. What did you think?
He called a pull. I'm not sure I saw the pull. He certainly did have hands on him. Now, there are 2 hands. There's the left arm right there. Did he pull him? Got his hands on his wrist, and then he takes it off. The tough call. I don't know, Smitty, what do you think?
I thought the crafty senior got a little bit of a yank, and obviously the referees called it. I thought he pulled more to the chair, but I think it was the correct call.
Took the chair out from under him. Well, what it does, it gives Florida a chance to maintain their momentum instead of a possession switch. It gave Texas Tech an opportunity to break that momentum.
Here's Kayvon Allen, finds his spot. Front rim, no. Rebound, Gray, and Texas Tech. The Gators trying to get back to the Sweet 16 for a 2nd straight year. And the Red Raiders, meantime, trying to get there for only the 4th time in their program's history. 15 to shoot. Here's Evans, their best player, leading scorer. Contact, and he'll shoot free throws. And Chiozza can't believe it. Let's go over to Roz.
Yesterday, Keenan Evans did not practice with the team. He didn't even step on the court. He did tell me with that injured left toe, it does bother him when he has to push off going right. But he said once the adrenaline is going, I feel 100%. He told me not to worry.
First free throw, Roz, no good. Certainly one of the more underappreciated players in the Big 12 Conference, 2nd in the Big 12 this year with a 17.7 points per game. And there was nothing that was going to keep that young man off the floor in this tournament.
Well, that's a huge call on the Gators. That's Chiozza's 3rd foul. We have 14 minutes left in this game and 56 seconds left.
Here comes Allen, and he'll shoot free throws. Well, how much time can Mike White buy here with his senior leader Chiozza on the bench?
It really all depends on how aggressive his guys are, like Allen, who can draw fouls and keep the Florida offense somewhat fluid.
Foul charge to Justin Gray, his first. Here's Allen, 90% free throw shooter. It's a 3-point Gators lead. A critics name TNT's original series Claus one of the best shows of 2017. DC Nash leads an all-star cast when Claus returns for an all-new season this summer only on TNT. Spiro Ditas, Steve Smith, Lenny Elmore, Rosgold on Wood A. Our producer Scott Brandwine, our director Matt Lipp, rest of our fantastic TNT crew that have been bringing you these pictures from Dallas this week.
For Florida, 2 starters with 3 fouls. This is Texas Tech's opportunity now to try to close this gap.
Stevenson is hounded as he entered the paint. With Tech down 4. They're trying to re-jumpstart their offense. It's on Hudson, his 3rd.
And a chess match going on. They went small ball, both coaches. And then Mike White went to a bigger lineup. And he's sticking with it right now to see if they can get advantage with this 4-point lead.
Texas Tech, a team that began the year unranked, got as high as 6th in the AP poll in late February, the highest ranking ever. Hoping to keep their season alive. Stevenson. Now Culver from deep. A little bit too much. And a rebound tracked down in the corner by Bassett. Stone from the corner. Not even close. And a call here. This will be a whistle against Texas Tech. Let's say who they get here. Official Bo Borowski blowing the whistle. Physical play at both ends of the floor. It's on Stevenson. That's his first.
Yeah, you can see him reach in and grab the wrist in an attempt to slap that ball away. But on the other end, guys, you know, Texas Tech is not a three-point shooting team, and after they got the offensive rebound, that was a quick three. You know, they had an opportunity, if you recognize time and score, to really work Florida again. Try to get to the free throw line as well as get a better shot.
Mike White screaming at his players to get their proper alignment on the floor, with Chiozza on the bench still with 3 fouls. Here's Kulichov. Who do they turn to here? Down low to Bassett. Has the freshman on his back. 3 to shoot. Here's Kulichov. Tough floater. No. And that is a shot clock violation.
That's good defense by the Red Raiders. And if you're Dante Bassett, big fella down on that block, you got to make a move with a smaller defender. Looked like he was uncomfortable on that offensive end, being able to make a play offensively.
Yeah, I mean, Texas Tech in the top 20 in the nation in points allowed as well as field goal percentage defense, and they led the Big 12 in those categories. So when push comes to shove, they know how to dig in.
Plenty of the issues at this end of the floor. You see the drought. Look at Culver. Incredible finish.
And that's where they're much more comfortable.
Francis the steal.
Boy, look at these
Bodies
student
all over the
athletes
place. It's Ino Caro in Florida.
working, Lynn. They are working.
You got it, man. It's one and done. You got to survive.
Look at Jared Culver. A nice play, taking a bump, and then the little deflection, and then now look at the scramble. First to the floor, or everybody to the floor.
And you can see where the foul was. On the reach.
Texas Tech in the bonus makes that call even bigger here, gentlemen. So a lot of free throws coming up with 13:23 left for Texas Tech. It will be Lawrence Odiase, a junior from right here in Fort Worth, at the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
And Chris Chiozza back in the ball game. Still a little bit early, guy with 3 fouls. But they know the offense is not running smoothly enough.
Gators cough it up. 9th turnover.
Just mishandled it.
Yeah, I mean, trying to be too quick with it. Take your eye off it. Mike White giving him a pat of encouragement.
Florida has turned it over on 3 straight possessions. Just under 7 minutes gone by here in Dallas.
That's why Chiozza had to get back in the ball game to reignite the offense.
Here's Zaire Smith, fires from deep. Rebound Francis, and he is tripped to the deck. And another 1-and-1 for Texas Tech.
Did you see where he came from to get that rebound?
Ran from the corner, Lynn, and a great recognition by you. I mean, that's just a dead sprint.
Right, that's a range rebound. You don't see too many guys doing that. And that's Chiozza's 4th foul. What hustle.
That is a huge call here. 13 minutes left. As DeAndre Ballard will check into the game, I beg your pardon.
You know, leave Chiozza in.
This is risky.
Senior's got to know how to play, though.
No, I think he's going to get a sub.
Oh, here he comes now. Allen's coming back for him.
Kayvon Allen coming in for Chiozza.
I was going to say, man.
He's
That's
really
rolling the dice.
rolling the dice.
We're in Dallas, not Vegas, man.
So Chiozza will sit with Florida holding a 2-point lead. 1-and-1 for Francis. And Tech leaving some critical points at the strike. Well, this is the kind of game that'll get those palms sweaty. Who can execute at a higher level here down the stretch? Allen from downtown. 7 points for the junior out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Here comes Smith down the paint, and he's headed to the free throw line.
And you just saw the identity of both teams.
Watch Kayvon Allen just raise up. He knocks down this three, but I love the motion offense by the Red Raiders. And there's Zach Smith powering through Stone for the bucket and a possible and one.
Yeah, Florida can knock down the threes in clutch situations. And the Red Raiders, they're not necessarily a three-point shooting team, but when it comes down to execution inside that arc, they get it done.
Smith, one of 4 seniors on this roster, recruited by Tubby Smith, the former Texas Tech coach, as he rebuilt his program. What a big, big three-point play to cut it to 2. As we come up on the 12-minute mark. Allen. Evans trying to weave his way up the floor. Stevenson.
Watch this athleticism by Smith.
Putting it down for the Red Raiders. We are tied.
Told you at the beginning of the telecast, it's inside the three-point line that the Gators have to make their stand. But right now, the Red Raiders are...
Change remaining in this second half. A reminder, second round coverage continues tomorrow, noon Eastern, CBS with Butler and Purdue. Then 5 Eastern time, right here on TNT, we have the NCAA Infinity Tip-Off Show. 8 games across CBS, TNT, TBS, and True TV over 12 hours. Texas Tech punching back over the last couple of minutes with their defense.
Just scrapping, getting to the ball, as you can see, and then going into the lane, driving. That's Zach Smith, and there's the defense. The Raiders are doing it all over, and then this basket, look at the freshman, Zaire Smith. He has 12 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds. We are all tied up.
I still believe the team that wins this is the one that gets the last run.
The winner of this one goes to Boston. Here is Allen, in and out. My goodness. And once again, Florida in one of those offensive droughts. They are 9 of their last 29 from the field. Chris Chiozza still on their bench with 4 fouls. How long can Mike White stay with his senior on the bench? Whistle blown here, away from the ball. And now a double bonus situation and 2 free throws the rest of the way for Texas Tech.
Second personal foul. 10-15 now is for
That motion offense, cutting off the high post. As a defender, you're trying to avoid the screen and trying to get through, Lynn. But then the offensive player steps back, and then you're trying to fight through. That's what happened to Allen, and he caught Justin Gray.
Foul charge to Allen, his second. Mike White will reinsert Jalen Hudson here as DeAndre Ballard sits. All tied at 48. But Tech guys having some issues at the free throw line tonight. Just 5 of 12.
Justin Gray, 84% free throw shooter. You're right, Spiro. They are leaving points on the table.
Strong contingent from Lubbock out of their seats. Allen, vicious finish by Stone.
How about that move by Allen, getting into the teeth of the defense and finding Stone point blank. That's what they need to keep their offense going.
6 points for Stone. Here's Smith. A series of fakes, can't finish. And the Gators control.
That was good defense by Keith Stone. Walling up and staying vertical. Look at this D.
Smith the steal. Evans. Beautiful finish.
He split the defense. Had 2 guys there and he split them.
Allen running the point with Chiozza still on the bench. 10 to shoot. Allen against Gray.
That's a tough shot.
out of bounds. Who touched it last? And it will be Texas Tech basketball.
Tell you what, Allen has got to recognize he's the playmaker out there. He's got to get other guys involved. To settle for that kind of shot with the time and score that we see is not advantageous to the Gators.
Well, you can make an argument that Chris Chiozza, there's no player more important to his team in the country. And right now, the Gators without their star for the last couple of minutes. Left with the 13-minute mark of the second half. Here comes Stevenson. Spins. And then he's stuck back by the freshman sensation Smith. Hudson misfires at the other end. Texas Tech with possession and a three-point lead.
Stars coming out at night, fellas.
I mean, Zaire Smith has had some fantastic dunks in this March Madness, and there he is, Keenan Evans with the nice pearl and finger roll for the Red Raiders. If you're the Gators, find a way to drive the basketball, get into the paint. They are missing Chiozza right now.
12-2 run for Tech. Kulichov.
Again, time and score. You can't take a 30-footer. You got to play with everybody.
Kulichov, a graduate senior, has to know better than that. Suddenly the Gators in a 5-point hole with 8 and change remaining.
And Mike White in a tough situation. He doesn't want to take away the confidence.
Stevenson, excellent look at it, and then Stone is fouled. That will be the 6th against the Red Raiders. Next one will put Florida in the bonus. It's on Stevenson, his second.
Watch this follow. Zaire Smith had a 360 the last game, and look at this follow from this angle. Lynn, boy, he went over the top of everybody.
Yeah, Jalen Hudson not paying attention. And then you take a look at Keenan Evans and, you know, toe or no toe. He said, I'm not ready to go home yet.
Keenan Evans will go down as one of the all-time greats in the history of Texas Tech. Trying to get his team to Boston. Hudson's 3 wedges between the glass and the rim. It's a jump, and the possession arrow will keep the basketball for the Gators. Let's go over to Roz.
Coach Chris Beard told me he's never surprised with anything Keenan Evans does. He said the nation knows about his talent. I know about his heart. I know about him being in the gym with the ball bouncing at 1 a.m., sometimes 7 a.m. He comes by the office and watches film even when he loses. He puts this team on our back, and he plays with a lot of heart.
Roz, he's been so gritty as he'll try to catch his breath here. Meantime, a foul called on the inbounds play. It was on Davide Moretti. That's his second, so that puts the Gators now at the line with Kulichov in a 1-and-1 here. 8:17 left, and Tech with a 5-point lead. Kulichov, a very good free throw shooter, 87% on the season. These will be his first tonight. Zaire Smith, very quick rest. We'll check in for Zach Smith, the senior.
I think Chris Beard is asking how come the arrow doesn't change. After that wedge ball went to Florida.
Kulichov, fantastic free throw shooter. Missed the front end of that 1-and-1.
Chris Chiozza still on the bench. Kayvon Allen, what a defensive recovery. Boy, Culver appeared to have a wide open dunk, and Allen out of nowhere able to knock it loose.
Trailed him all the way and just got enough of it. He got the ball first before he got the wrist.
Evans back in the game with 14 to shoot. Guarded by Okaro. Evans looking for more. finish. And Texas Tech by 7.
He has a rangy first step. It's not quick, but he covers a lot of real estate.
Buick expectation-shattering performance of the day. Just tune into Inside March Madness, presented by Buick, and find out later tonight. It is a 14-2 run for the Red Raiders, and their All-American from Richardson, just outside Dallas, has put the team on his back.
You're talking about senior leadership and a gamer. You see in this second half, he is putting the Red Raiders on his back. Rangy first step. He has 10 points in his second half. And his last outing against Stephen F. Austin, the Lumberjacks, he had 19 of his 23 points in the second half. He shows up big, Lynn, in the second half when the Red Raiders really need him.
Well, apparently, when he carries them on their back, they ain't heavy. It's his brothers, man.
Lenny, we got some explanation from official Bo Borowski about why the possession arrow stays in the Gators' favor as you see Chiozza come back into the game.
Yeah, we got the explanation. That was that upon the possession arrow going to Florida, when the ball was inbounded, it was never legally touched before a foul was committed. So therefore, the possession arrow stays with Florida. And I'm assuming that the rationale is Florida never got to possess the ball and take advantage of the possession arrow.
Here comes Kulichov stumbling down the paint. No, and it's put back in by Hayes. Monstrous bucket for the Gators.
And how about that? He didn't have much to do with that play, Chris Chiozza, but he's on the floor, and suddenly Florida's got some life.
First points for the Gators in 3.5 minutes. Smith poked away, and the call here against Zaire Smith. You see the little shove right at Chiozza, nearly knocked him off his feet.
And this is what had happened once the ball was in the wedge. Is this the play? Yeah, I mean, the official. Oh, this is the one where it hits the wedge. Okay, I thought this was now afterwards. The ball was inbounded, but before it was legally touched, someone was fouled.
All right, the officials will go to the replay monitor here to try to sort through some confusion. The foul was charged to Zaire Smith. Officials, I believe, will go to the monitor here, guys, to see if there was anything above the neck or shoulder area of Chiozza. This is something that they could go to the monitor to determine. It is just a common foul at the moment on Smith. You see him kind of flail his arm.
I didn't even see his arm go up, to be honest.
You're right. Chiozza, the senior, sold it well. Really nothing from Smith.
It's a grab. Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me?
Well, hopefully they won't have to look at this too many times.
Whatever it takes to get you the possession.
I hear you, but my goodness.
I think it was a foul, a push-off down low, but nowhere near up top.
It is a 15-5 run by Tech.
But you know what?
It all happened with Chiozza on the bench.
And you guys, play like that sometimes works against you because officials don't like to get embarrassed by stuff like that.
That's a good point. It is a 1-and-1 here for Chiozza, who struggled tonight with his shot. 3 of 10 from the field. This will be his first trip to the line. An 80% free throw shooter who's playing with 4 personals.
And I'm not saying that officials will do anything willful. I mean, they're going to call what they see. But there's human nature, right?
Chiozza, the senior from Memphis. 5-point game. Oh, you can't teach speed until now. Bleacher Report. Get alerts for your teams and scores before anyone else. Download the app today. Here's Chiozza, who actually contemplated transferring away from Florida after the departure of Billy Donovan, who recruited him and left after his freshman year. But decided to hang around and has had one of the all-time great careers in Gainesville. And he's brought the Gators within 4. Evans stripped. Here's Allen. And look at Stevenson. A defensive gem from the back.
That was just fantastic hustle, all-out sprint by Stevenson to knock that one away.
Here's the freshman Smith dumping it backside. Hayes denying Stevenson.
That was pretty good defense. But I tell you what, Chioza's getting awfully close to getting that disqualifying foul.
Hudson is fouled on his way to the cup. It's on Gray. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Hudson.
Good strip.
Good strip.
And then right back at you.
And right there, that's a foul. He got away with it.
And look at Hayes with a nice block shot.
The Gators capitalizing on it.
Foul was charged before the shot attempt by Hudson, so it is only a 1-and-1 here. It's on Gray, his second. Next Tech whistle puts Florida in the double bonus. And Florida slowly starting to creep back. It's a one-possession game.
I think Coach White is going to play a little offense-defense if Hudson could have knocked it down to get Chioza out the game, but now he has to play with him. And he has to be smart, Lynn, not to pick up that fifth.
Yeah, he was fortunate on the last one because his hand was tangled in with the other, and the officials missed it. But he's a smart senior. He understands how to play.
Here comes Culver, slithering to the cup, can't hit. It's put back in by Zaire Smith. He has been incredible. Here comes Chioza, swatted by Gray.
Well, a nice little screen against the zone by the Red Raiders. Culver drives it. So many people going for the block shot, and nothing Chioza could do with the offensive rebound, and that's just Gray with the length and athleticism to block that shot.
This will be a blocking foul on Zaire Smith. Took a chance defensively, unable to draw the charge. And it will be Hudson back to the stripe. Chris Beard pacing that sideline, trying to get Tech to the Sweet 16 for only the 4th time ever. Double bonus for both teams the rest of the night. See Mike O'Carroll will check back in here as Mike White will try to buy a couple of minutes here, maybe even a few seconds for Chioza.
He's going offense-defense. He's going to try to do that on all stoppage and free throws.
Yeah, because his heart probably stopped when he saw Chioza reach in that time. And it was very fortunate, no call. A smart play, smart call by Mike White to try to alternate Chioza, get him in and out.
Well, the other tough spot here for White, he's only got one timeout left. And still a world of time left. 5:46 remaining. And his Gators down 4.
They have battled back, though, to give themselves a chance. It's going to come down. Can they get a stop?
Little floater underneath, won't go. Rebound Stone.
Hayes and Stone made it tough for Evans on that one.
Allen hanging in the air, couldn't finish.
Man, are you talking about athleticism?
Did you see that?
Zaire Smith. Good gracious.
Well, them Smiths can jump, except me.
Francis. Well short, rebound Allen. Gators want to push. Here comes Allen, got his feet tangled up. No, Hayes swatted from the back. Shot clock at 20. Here comes Stone, stripped, and he is fouled. Florida in the midst of another one of these offensive droughts. They have missed 9 of their last 10. But Stone to the line can cut it to 2.
Well, Florida keeps getting after it, forcing the Red Raiders to foul. They may not be able to knock down field goals, but they get an opportunity from the line.
Stone didn't shoot that one with any confidence.
I'll stream live 24/7 highlight scores and news free across all your connected devices with CBS Sports HQ. Check it out now, CBS Sports HQ. NCAAsports.com. Two great teams, two of the brightest young coaches in the sport. Who advances to Boston and the Sweet 16?
Florida in the zone right now. Kind of a 2-3, but sometimes it flattens out to be a 3-2. Nevertheless, they're trying to match up with guys in their area.
Shot clock at 8. Raiders looking stagnant here. Here comes Francis to the cup, puts it down. Going glass. First points of the night for the former Gator.
If you're Coach White, I know it's 4 minutes left. You got to get Chioza back in the game. You got to let him play with those 4 fouls.
Here comes Hudson finding his spot, and he puts it down again.
Either that or you hope guys like Hudson and the rest of the guys out on the floor can get something done on the offensive end, which right now Hudson seems to have the feeling.
Smith back out. This is Zach Smith. That's good.
Confidence. He took that one with no hesitation.
The Smitty connection.
Here comes Hudson between 2. And a chance at a 3-point play as Hudson put his team on his back.
Jalen Hudson, fantastic. Big time straight line drive. The defense not in position. Take the bump, bucket, and get to the line.
He's down 3 as these two teams battle for the right to advance to Boston and the Sweet 16 next week.
Look at the free throw shooting. It may come down to that type of contest. Neither one of these teams exactly lighten it up from the line. In this half, Texas Tech just 5 of 10. And Florida a bit better at 8 of 12.
Well, the Gators needed someone to step up with Chioza saddled on the bench with foul trouble, and it has been this kid, Jalen Hudson, rattles it home here. 15 of his 23 points, gentlemen, in the second half.
He's been fantastic.
And he gave Florida just enough breathing room to keep Chioza on the bench and avoid that 5th foul. But now he's got to play. This is do or die.
Evans thought about it, now to Culver. Francis. Too much. Allen up the floor, 3 on 2, right side, Kulichov. We are tied at 64.
I mean, Kulichov got out and ran hard, Lynn, to get that layup.
And that's an example of the quick shot, the bad shot, turns into the first pass of the opponent's fast break. And that's exactly what happened.
8th tie tonight. 10 to shoot. What does Evans have left? Splash!
You talking about wanting to make the big shots and the big timing for him. Keenan Evans is knocking them down when they need him.
As no one out pizzas the Hut.
Game reset, 2:31 to play. A 3-6 matchup in the East, and it has been Culver. Incredible.
Yeah, he had a little more time with 9 seconds on the shot clock to explore the defense, and that shot, not a good one, turns into the first pass of the fast break. But Keenan Evans will not be denied. You can't give him that much room.
And Kayvon Allen trying to respect that first step. Got jabbed and gave him too much space, like you said, Lynn.
Here's Hudson with the Gators down 3. We come up on the final 2 minutes here in Dallas. Hudson coming from Morris, landed inside by Zach Smith.
And I thought it was going to be a mismatch when he switched out on him. But what a recovery.
And I think that help by Zaire Smith coming over also made him change his shot. And then the recovery, like you said, by Zach Smith. Well, they are high flyers, the Smiths.
Smith has it, 7 to shoot. Into the corner, Evans, guarded by Chioza. That's a long 2, well short. Zach Smith saving it. What's the call here? Tony Padilla blowing his whistle. Appears to be pointing towards the clock. We'll see if they do something here with the shot clock.
Did the ball touch the rim?
We are within the 2-minute mark here, so the officials going to the monitor. Tony Padilla, Bo Borowski, John Gaffney are officials. Terrific veteran crew here.
I thought it hit the rim.
Yes, it does. So the clock rightfully would be reset, right?
So the officials confirm the call. They will stay with the 29 seconds on the timer. But how about this block, gentlemen, by Zach Smith?
You see Smith staying with the ball handler.
Yeah, Hudson.
Like you said, the ability to step in, make him change his shot, gave Zach Smith the opportunity to slot that ball off the glass.
Guys, how great has this game been?
Oh, it's been so good.
How great has this day been, man?
Minute 38 seconds. I wish this game they can just start all over, Lynn, and replay it again.
I was gonna say, I could do 2 more. Like, no, I can't.
These kids leaving everything they have on this floor in the biggest moment of their collegiate lives, with a date in the Sweet 16 hanging in the balance. 90 seconds left. Stevenson. Evans lobbing for Smith, broken up. Kulichov takes.
Didn't get it up high enough.
The Gators get the stop they needed. Down 3 with 70 seconds left.
Good job by Javarius Hayes being able to challenge that lob.
Kulichov wants to shoot that as soon as he gets his hands on it.
Chioza. Hayes stripped on his way up. Kulichov for the tie. Out of bounds, back to Texas Tech.
Little too anxious.
And so deep on that 3, Lynn, and fading back. You got to step into it. Why don't you walk in into it?
Exactly. He was waiting in one spot. He had an opportunity, like you said, to step into it, going from inside out. That's the perfect 3-point shot if the shooter's ready.
When he saw the scramble, Lynn, you're totally right. I don't know why he went inch in, and then when he caught it, fading away.
But you could just tell the way he was running around. I mean, he was anxious. That hand started turning red. You could see it.
Officials once again going to the replay monitor to confirm how much time should be on the clock. 48.3 remaining. We have this luxury here within the final 2 minutes. Texas Tech will have possession, up 3. Double bonus from here on out for both teams.
See him standing there asking for it.
Flat-footed.
Yep. And he's actually, like you said, he stepped back instead of stepping towards it.
So they do add some more time on the game clock now. 49.4 remaining as the drama continues to build here in Dallas. A reminder coming up after all the games are over tonight. Casey Stern, Seth Davis, Brendan Haywood, Candace Parker, and South Carolina head coach Frank Martin. We'll have all the highlights and analysis inside March Madness presented by Buick later tonight, only on TBS.
One possession ball game with 49 seconds, so 19-second differential. Florida, you got to play tight defense. You don't have to foul.
Nope, I don't think so either, Lynn. I'm with you. And obviously put a little pressure. Chioza has to be careful because he's guarding Keenan Evans.
Mike White has been sitting on that last timeout for the last 4 and change. So 1 timeout left for Florida, 2 for Tech. As Keith Stone will be a late sub here. Kulichov will sit. And now the officials say that White cannot sub here. John Gaffney giving White the explanation. And I don't think Mike is satisfied. Zach Smith will be the inbounder. Some late full court press. What a matchup between two of the great seniors in the country. Evans, the All-American, and Chioza, who has authored some of the greatest moments in Gators history.
And they're doing the right thing if you're the Red Raiders. Running the clock down. There's
Evans lobbing for Zaire Smith as he brings this defense to its knees one more time.
Only at CC's.
Florida Gators will have it down 5, 29.4 to play. Keenan Evans dropping a dime to the freshman stud, Zaire Smith.
What I loved about this play, Spiro, was the last time they ran that for Zach Smith, and they had Hayes, a bigger body contest. This time, Kuluchov had no chance once the ball got up in the air, and that's the right person, Lynn, to throw a lob to Zaire Smith. He goes way up to go get it.
Well, what Evans did was read Kavarius Hayes, who came out and gambled a little bit, slipped and lost his footing, which gave Evans an opportunity to get an advantage situation. That's just smart basketball, patient basketball by Keenan Evans. But did we expect anything less from him?
What a night. What a career. Hoping to extend it at least a few more days with a trip to Boston.
Now again, Texas Tech would be loath to foul. Go for a quick two.
Here comes Chioza, exactly that. So intelligent. One possession game.
Yeah, go for a hard steal if you can, and then foul. Extend this game.
Evans is trapped in the corner. Hudson poked away. It's loose. Who's got it? Stone. Florida has one timeout. 15 seconds. They're down 3.
How can you not be strong with the ball then, man? Wow.
Chioza. Kuluchov. Offensive rebound. Stone. Here's Allen from the tie. No. And it's over. Texas Tech has survived. And the boys from Lubbock are headed to Boston in the Sweet 16. Texas Tech heading to the Sweet 16 for only the 4th time in their history. And agony for the Gators.
Well, first of all, it looked like it was ecstasy as they make this steal.
I mean, you look at it, what a scramble, Lynn. Chioza comes up with this basketball, and they had their opportunities.
Right, you're exactly right. They still got plenty of time. And they get a couple of looks. Chioza with the penetration.
Oh, he hesitated on that one.
He didn't catch it, didn't have it in his hands correctly. And there you had the shot a little more rough. But 2 opportunities to tie.
Yes, indeed.
Guys, surprised that they didn't take the timeout?
No, on that play, I was okay because he had the basketball in Chioza's hand. And the coach knows the confidence of him. He knew he was going to drive and break down the defense and make the right play and kick it out.
Yeah, if he called timeout, what kind of play can you call to get you a better 3 than the 2 threes they got?
It's a good point.
And Chioza got him a wide open 3.
Exactly.
The Texas Tech Red Raiders, fresh off their first tournament win in 13 years on Thursday, survive and advance.
Songs of song we sing to thee. Ever to be alright. Look at those.
jubilation for Chris Beard and this contingent from Lubbock, Texas, as their dream will continue. Rise standing by with the winners.
Keenan, this was a game, it was a battle. You both had to withstand each other's runs. What was the difference to get the win?
Just, being tough. This game's going to come out to who's going to tough it out at the end. And, I felt like at the end, we kind of buckled down and got some stops and got some rebounds.
You played like a man determined. How much responsibility do you take to be a leader for this team's success?
I take all responsibility. I feel like if we lose, every game is on me, even if I didn't play. And that's just something I'm willing to take on for my team.
Congratulations. I'm going to talk to Coach. Is that okay?
Thank you so much.
No problem. Coach, congratulations. While we have Keenan walking off, how about the leadership of your senior?
He's a special guy. He's got the courage to make plays in the big moments. He's one of the best players I've ever coached. He's one of the leaders of our team.
Your team was picked in the preseason to finish 7th in the Big 12. Here you are going to the Sweet 16. Why were people wrong to sleep on you guys?
Well, I've been trying to prove people wrong my whole life, and I've got a bunch of players that have that same personality. We don't have a lot of top 100 or McDonald's All-American guys, but we got guys that have gotten better. We got guys that believe in each other, and I just couldn't be more proud to be their coach.
You told me about your mantra, 4-1, with the importance of mental toughness. Where has your team shown mental toughness this entire season to this point and as you advance in the tournament?
Well, we definitely did late. I was telling the guys on timeout, their best offense were our fouls. We were fouling too much. But these guys were mentally tough enough. The last couple possessions, we made Florida take shots, and fortunately for us, they missed, and we're going to the Sweet 16. You hear that? We're going to the Sweet 16.
Say it one more
Texas
time.
going to the Sweet 16.
One more time.
Ronald Ross, Darvin Ham, we're going to the Sweet 16.
What's happening next?
We're going to the Sweet 16.
All right, Coach. Good luck. Guys.
Chris Beard, the ultimate scrapper, who has had to bang around the coaching ranks at virtually every level. One of Lubbock's favorite sons is leading his Red Raiders to the Sweet 16.
Well, we told you it was the team with the last run that was going to win this. Texas Tech with a 5-0 ended it on a good note.
How about the play of Kenan Evans, the senior point guard?
For Smitty, for Len, for Rise, our entire crew, Spiro Dina saying so long from Dallas. We'll send you to our studios after these messages.